Hello and welcome back to the Cocked Dice. Tonight's video is a bit different. We're going to start with a bit of a montage. Now there's a bit of a theme here. These are all the kind of knightly style of Space Marines. There's a whole bunch of them: Dark Angels, Black Templars, Iron Knights, Silver Templars I think they were before, and finally the one we're going to tackle tonight, which is the Hospitallers. So let's have a look at the bits we're going to need for tonight's video. This is broadly based around a Stormcast Eternal. We're going to swap out his legs for regular Space Marine legs. We've got a Grey Knight sword, we've got some candles and skulls from the Cawdor kit from Necromunda. We've got a Grey Knight helmet, obviously shoulder pads that fit the chapter, and a bolt pistol just to swap out from the knife arm. And again, one of the little shoulder shields, because I like adding them to pretty much every model I do at the moment. So your first job is going to be to assemble the Space Marine legs. Now the right hand leg will need to be glued together and will need the shin guard adding. However, the left leg does not. Next up, assemble your Stormcast Eternal body. We're going to make a cut first of all straight across the bottom of the leg here, and then on the other side around the knee and round the back, and then we're also going to remove this little tassel. So just cut gently through here, try not to damage the underneath, the robes underneath, and then once you've cut through the front a little bit, just make a little incision in the back and it should come off, and you will find that you've not really caused too much damage on the underlying robes. For the leg, again, you just want to cut right between the robes and the knee joint and armour. Just work your knife through it very, very slowly, very carefully. Don't try and do it in one go. You can also kind of score it and work your way down a little bit just to make that cut a little easier. So once you've finished, you should end up with something that looks a bit like this. So we've got his legs off. Our next job is going to be to stick this body together. So we're going to start working on the legs next. First of all, you'll need to measure up against the Stormcast Eternal. Once you've got an idea of where the legs fit, you'll need to make an incision across the leg, cutting nice and deeply through. I would give yourself a little bit of space. That'll allow you to make a bit of a mistake and slowly cut back on here. And then once you've done that, start with a test fit. Just test the leg, see where it fits, and make sure you can get it attached at the point you want to. Onto his other foot, same again, we're just going to measure roughly where we want to, cut it across, and then we're going to take a knife and carve straight through the foot, so we've got a clear join. Now we're going to want to remove these arms on both sides and take off the shoulder pads next. So you've seen me do this before on other, well, normally Space Marine models, but I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to clipper off the shoulder pads and then try and save as much of the underlying robes as possible. So just take your clippers and work your way down through those shoulder pads, and then do your best to clean up afterwards, and you should be left with something that looks a little like this. Got some good flat areas there to glue our arms to, and obviously the connection point for both the foot and the half leg is fairly strong, so you just need to drop a little bit of glue along these areas and add the bits we cut down earlier. Now he's based up and we've got a solid start for him. I've left him to dry for a little bit, just ensures that the model is stuck together and we've got a solid base to work from. From here I added some arms for him. These are the arms you saw at the beginning. I've cut the knife off his left arm already, and as you might be able to see on his right arm, I've already shaved down the shoulder pad area because I think that's an arm from a Reaver kit. So once you've got your shoulders level, you've got a little bit of time to position them, and then we're going to add on shoulder pads. And you can see here that fits pretty well. You may find you need to trim around the robes a little bit. Now, unfortunately, Stormcast Eternals don't have an easy connection point for the backpack. So in this case, I'm going to drop a blob of green stuff onto his back and then attach the backpack straight to that. And then once it's dry, it should stick fairly easily. Now we'll add his head in here. It should fit nice and easily because there's no collar or any area to sort of trap it. And just work your way around and make sure you've got a pose that you like. Onto the sword. Now this is a two-handed sword from the Grey Knight's kit, so I'm going to remove the bottom of the sword blade just around this notch here, and that will look like a fairly reasonable pommel for quite a long one-handed sword blade. I really like this style of sword for the kind of more Crusading Knights types. The kind of long double-edged blade looks pretty cool. From the Cordor kit, we're going to use just the skull and flames at the top of it. So you just need to trim this off and clean up the bottom of it and any of the connection points. I'm going to add this onto his backpack in just a moment. Now obviously this is an Age of Sigmar figure, and we're going to start adding some bits and pieces here to just sci-fi him up a little bit and bring him into line with the rest of the Marine range. First of all, around his hip we're going to add a bunch of pouches, and then onto his shoulder pad I'm going to add the shield you've seen. Now, whilst I unfortunately didn't catch this on record, I then went back and removed some of these Stormcast symbols along the side here and the chain and kind of anvil. I've replaced that with some just bits and pieces that came from the normal Space Marine kits. So that's it for tonight's video. There's a painted video of him coming up right now.